All right, welcome back to STS Podcast.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, shit.
Do that click again.
All right.
Welcome back to STS Podcast here. Oh, shit.
You want me to click it again, or you good?
Nah, you ain't got to click
Okay.
it.
Really? Okay. Welcome back to STS Podcast, where we're shooting the shit here at Eastwood Recording in Florence, Mississippi. I'm your host tonight, Scott Jones. The man in your head running the ship is Kevin Williams.
Hello.
Tonight on deck, we have Pistol Black.
What's up?
Welcome, man.
You all right?
Yeah, glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. Glad to have you. Now, you got a few things going on here where we talk about tonight. You're involved with Candy Bone, which I'm familiar with.
Yep.
That goes back around 2010, 2011, 12 era, maybe, I think. You've got a Red Light Vendetta, which I thought that's a cool name.
Yeah. It's kind of cool how I came up with it. Me and my buddy were riding down 25, and I was catching every single freaking red light. And I looked at my buddy. I said, "It's some kind of Red Light Vendetta, man." And then we kind of both looked at each other like, "Yeah, that's one. Tuck it back."
Yep, that's one to keep.
I wound up hanging out with this cat. I knew him already. I'd met him a long time ago at a party. I was playing some guitar, and he was, he enjoyed it,
Right.
Come to find out years later, he wound up picking it up and bumped back into him and listened to his music, and he had some good stuff. So I was like, I'll probably start writing songs with this cat, and we did. We linked up, and that eventually turned into Red Light Vendetta.
Nice. Now, back to Candy Bone, and like Red Light Vendetta, these are all songs. You're a songwriter, correct?
I am.
And so you're not really known to be in the cover band. So Candy Bone back in 2011, probably playing around the Jackson area.
Oh yeah. We probably played our first show in 11, and then really took off after that in 2012 after we dropped our EP. But we were Diesel 255 put us on our first show. And like we were all original, we didn't do any covers. We might play one cover to a set, whereas everybody else is playing a cover and might play one original.
Right.
Which was a little abrasive to the scene at first, I guess, or the certain clubs rather we were playing at the time, 43. But I wound up playing this song "Wasted," and Derek Hudson, who was the owner of the Club 43 at the time, he loved it. Yeah, it got to where he'd make me play that song 2 or 3 times a night.
Now, Club 43, that's in Canton?
Canton, Mississippi.
Okay,
I think it's called Cowboys 43. No, it's actually Pop's Saloon now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's been around for a little while. So,
Oh,
was that y'all's kind of breakout point?
Yeah, that's where we started, and then from there, like I said, just kind of built our following, built a brand. We had dropped that Wasted song, and it did good. We wound up playing a battle of the bands there at the 43, and we were against a band called Crush out of Sebastopol. Awesome band, man. Cool cover band. They all look good, look like rock stars,
I think I know some of those guys.
Yeah, and they had some cool homemade pyrotechnics and everything.
Nice.
And we were going up against all that and songs people knew with just our originals. But like I said, we had just came back from that recording our EP in Orlando with Brett Hessler. We dropped the Wasted song on YouTube probably 2 weeks before this Battle of the Bands, just to put some content out there, And Jason Knoll from Saving Abel wound up sharing it. That was cool.
That would be cool.
And then we played that Battle of the Bands, and that was the last song we played, and it was the last song of the entire event that night. And all of a sudden, even their fans were singing our song back to us. The whole building was singing it. There's even a video on YouTube, and you can see in the video where we're kind of like, what
just happened, right?
Like this is crazy. But yeah, turned out, we won the crowd vote that night, by the way. We got beat later in some kind of internet vote thing, but there was a lot of shifty stuff going on. Not on Crush's end. I think there was just people out there putting votes on us everywhere, and it just made it all convoluted and weird, but it reached a lot of people.
Well, if you can grab them on a live show, they're like you did right out the gate like that. it's not really fair to yourself in a way that's kind of spoils it. Like you expect that to happen every time. That's something to live up to.
Oh yeah, so it really is. You know,
and you got that taste, and now you say, "Oh, I know what I want now."
Right.
It's got to drive you. It's going to drive you or break you.
It drives you. It drives you far. Honestly, man. Especially if you're that person.
Right. Well, apparently you are, because we're talking about 2011. Here we are, 2023, and there's other projects. 24.
Yeah.
Well.
You know, it doesn't even, yeah. Sometimes I forget what year we're in, too.
It's going to be one of those shows.
But, yeah, I was playing before then, you know. I got out into the scene. I was playing like an open mic, 15 years old at Mellow Mushroom.
Right. Right, because we've been in circles for years.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Martin's area and all that.
And that's where I met Cody Smith from
exactly.
Red, you know,
the
old Mellow Mushroom days, and wound up bumping into the Bailey brothers who hosted that open mic.
Exactly.
And, we were playing one night, and some badass drummer came up there. I think he was blind in one eye, young guy. But he came and ripped it up. And I remember my singer in my band at the time called Monday Mouth. He had made a joke. He was like, "Chase, you're fired." Well, as soon as he said that, both Brock and Jason Bailey, like they were waiting on it or something, knew it was going to happen. They said in unison, "You're hired."
Nice.
So, yeah, I wound up starting to play with them. My singer that said that actually hauled me over there. I put all my drums and my whole kit and everything in the back of his truck, and he took me over there for my first, you know, jam through. And then those guys would come pick me up in the Toyota Tercel, a little tiny little car, you know. And we'd have the drums back there, and all three of us, dude, riding around. It was awesome. Listening to the Black Keys. It was good times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing since back then. I was in high school, you know, out in the scene, meeting people, making network connections. I was in a band with Chris Rybolt from Martin's.
Right.
Gussie Down in the Kaleidoscope Circus. Their drummer was working at Mellow Mushroom, and he wound up having to go to Destin to train a store down there. So I kind of filled in, but once I did, dude, we just started knocking songs out.
Nice.
Writing really, really good stuff. And it was probably one of the best bands I've been in as far as just being tight, on cue, having that chemistry, you know.
You said you did some recording in Florida for that couple weeks before the Battle of the Bands. Mm-hmm. That's pretty early on when you're starting to just jump right into recording.
It was. We kind of swung for the fences, or, you know, the fences we could swing for.
Right. That's pretty fast.
It was a little bit outside of our dime, but my drummer had a big settlement from a wreck he had, and he decided to finance the record, you know, and I was like, well, here's some people we could work with. You know, he and I used to ride around listening to Dark New Day, one of our favorite bands.
Yeah, I love those guys.
Super awesome band, man. And we had the opportunity to work with Brett if we wanted to.
That's
and
cool.
So I pitched it to him. And
is he out of Atlanta?
I think he's from Alabama originally, but at the time he was in Orlando, Florida.
Okay. I
think he's in Tennessee now. I was like, I loved how sonically, you know, well-rounded that record was, and I was pretty sure they did it themselves. They were on Warner Brothers record, I think, and I was like, let's go work with that guy, you know, if we can.
Yeah, I wore that CD out.
I did too. Man, I can't tell you how many times I probably bought that CD and gave it away, and countless others of any good bands I loved, like Chevelle, Shinedown. I would buy those records, give them away, and buy them again.
So, there was a lot of good bands that come through Martin's. I lived above Martin's for a little while, and back around 2005, 2006, somewhere in the area, and the bands that come through, they always sold CDs, and vinyl was just starting to come out. When you record now today, are you just putting it out for people to stream, or is there any physical copy people can get? Is that even worthwhile doing? There's a lot of old school people like Kevin and I, like y'all just said, wearing the CD out.
I really do think it's worthwhile doing if you've got the catalog to do it. Right now, people are being geared towards this drop a single every few months kind of thing.
Right.
And I really think more than anything, we need to be putting records out, maybe drop a single or two, but not have to worry about putting out a new song every now and then. I mean, if you got the catalog, go on and drop that record, and yeah, sell a physical copy if you can.
Right.
If you're touring and stuff, it definitely makes sense to even tapping into that vinyl thing now too. You ain't got to do a bunch. Get 50 to 100 vinyl made, make it a special, edition kind of what have you, and make that little money, and if that does well, do it again.
Right. I love that. I love that idea. It's kind of old school.
Yeah, the sad thing is I don't even have a CD player anymore.
You know what? I don't either.
I've got a studio here, and I don't even have a CD player.
Well, I do. And I have a CD last month that stayed in my deck in my car. And it was a band that when I was out with Pop Fiction on the road, this other band come through playing 50 dates in 50 days and wondered if they could just set up, do a few songs while we set up. And we said, of course, yeah, fine, do it. Bought their CD, a group called the Waldens. And the name of the little EP was The Static. And I literally put it in and just let it roll over and over and over and over again. And there's another band that I bought at a show like that,
Clever Form for me.
Clever Form for you?
I got that record, and man, I thought that was a well-rounded record. And they did some of that with Brett Hessler. And they did some of it with Eric Bass from Shinedown. And then
it was neat going,
Rick Beato.
Right.
And Rick's done went on to start his own YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Rick's.
He invented that neural app that, basically helps kids develop perfect pitch at a really young age.
Oh, that's good.
But that did good. And then his YouTube, because Rick's a brilliant musician, a true, in the sense of the word, musician, you know what I mean?
Right.
He's a hell of an engineer and a musician.
Oh, by far. I talked with Rick, and we were talking about working together, wanted to, just the financing was never right and the timing wasn't right. And that's when he went on and started doing the YouTube page. I don't even know if he's producing anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. He's probably making so much money off his YouTube page.
That's what
now.
I'm saying. And
Yeah.
I think I know he did some work with Cody and them though, and Cody was telling me about working with him, how, he's, you got to be on point on them vocals with old Rick. And I like that.
Yeah.
He's going to get the best out of you.
Yeah, he, when I first started, I thought he was just an engineer. I didn't really know much about him when I started watching his YouTube channel. And then he started, after I don't know how many episodes that he put out, he actually played guitar on one of them, and it was like,
Yeah.
wow, this somebody can play.
Yeah, he's got a lot
Wow.
of.
Well, Cody's little band, Framing the Red, they write their own music and push it out themselves. They had, 5 or 6 albums out?
Yeah.
At least. But what has been so cool is watching them post pictures from going all over the country and doing what they love doing in the country, and doing their own music. And when you're playing with Candy Bone or Red Light Vendetta, that's what you're ultimately trying to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's always the goal. And I've even talked to Jordan, about possibly going out with him before. I've had to go on tour on my own before. 2018, I went on the road with Black Oxygen, and we toured all over the U.S., just hit a lot of the big cities. And then didn't go to Hollywood that run. That was about it. But everywhere else, And
We'll forgive you this time.
I toured. That's where I want to go play, man.
Really?
The Whiskey A Go-Go is my bucket list. But anywhere there, Viper Room.
Yeah, I wanted to play there back in the heyday,
Yeah.
Of course, you would have been a lot younger then, but, that was a goal to do that. But, of course, it never happened, obviously. But
Well, it's definitely a bucket list goal of mine. I want to make it happen.
If anything, just because of the history.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of great bands founded out of there. Or not found, but, they were found by,
They worked it out
execs.
there, yeah. There was a time when, I guess it's always been a famous place to go, but, a lot of bands did work it out there, get their...
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses, I'm sure, was one of them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
All
I
of
was
All them '80s bands. I mean, that was that whole decade was
even up to
from the Rainbow and the Whiskey. And, and I guess the Roxy, is that right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yep, that one too.
Yeah.
But even up to bands like Linkin Park and System of a Down, that was a major launch pad for them. But yeah, I love seeing Jordan in them's pictures and videos, man. I wrote a song with those guys, Holy Water.
Okay.
It's done pretty good for them. I remember when they first dropped it. I think some bar even came up with a holy water shot.
I'm sure it's probably Martin's. if I see Cody, he's going to be at Martin's.
Oh yeah, Cody, you can always find him. He's a fixture there. I love it.
We don't live too far away.
He's
from each
like
other.
Lemmy and the Rainbow. Cody and Martin's. But I love it. And you can catch Caleb there a lot too.
Right. That's a good guy.
I love Caleb. Caleb was my roommate for a while.
Really?
He just recently moved down there with where Jordan lives. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep, I like Caleb.
Yeah, he's a cool kid, man.
Jordan, I don't know. He's you can take or leave Jordan.
Newman.
Right?
But yeah, I love Jordan, man. He's a good hard worker. And he was one of the bands that when we first started getting out and dropped our EP and everything, he was somebody I looked up to and reached out to a lot, and could always count on give me good advice or whatever.
Oh yeah, right. He's one of those guys I wish I would have grown up with. Or I wish he would have grown up with me in the '80s.
Right.
Yeah, I wish he was with me in the '80s, man. We would have we would have had fun.
Hell yeah, ain't no doubt. I remember watching Jordan before he was in, or before I knew about Framed in Red. I'm not sure if it was existent then or what, but watching him in a band, I think they were called Still Frame Tragedy. I could be wrong, but they opened up for Pop Evil at Fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah,
I knew him from somewhere before Frame, but I didn't know where.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got I love his stage presence.
Oh man,
I liked when he played guitar and then he switched over to bass, and it's no different. He's just really good.
I will say I miss him on guitar as well.
Too.
I wish, but they got it worked out as a 3-piece and they love it.
Oh, they had it worked out immediately.
Oh yeah. Well, that's Jordan. He's gonna make it work.
Who's your guy? Do you have a particular person that you've always collaborated with over the years, or do you you have not necessarily a revolving door, but Candy Bone, it probably didn't have the same lineup it did in 2011, does it?
It doesn't, but one guy's been pretty consistent. There was a gap there for a little bit, but Brian Keith, he's my bass player, and he's been there since the Genesis, and he's still here now. But a lot of the times I'll write the song or whatever. Now, there's times when we were in the jam room, we got a lot of stuff that we have written together. We're looking to release soon. We need to record and stuff. We've been talking about it, man, because that's the stuff you want to play as a band.
Right.
And I want to give that to them,
Yeah, here at Eastwood Recording, we've done some work. We work with Waking Bars, and man, if anything we can do to help you here, we'd love to be a part of that too.
Oh heck yeah, man! I'd love to come try. I love going different places, trying new stuff. You know what I mean? Just working with different people.
We'll totally flip this room to record in, or we'll flip it back to do podcast in.
But yeah, I enjoy that. I enjoy working with different people, working with everybody. I try to do that, and that's one of the cool things about I've been kicking it with the Waking Mars boys a lot more lately, and have always wanted to just have a good network of Jackson musicians working together to elevate not only the scene but each other.
Right.
And I think I found the right group of people to do that with finally.
That's nice. That's nice. And
Is Levi with you?
Levi, he went on a hiatus for a year. He wanted to raise some babies and spend time with his family. And I was like, dude, I support anything you do. I hope he comes back. He knows he's always got a home here, Levi, But we talked on the phone the other day, man, and we're still going to record together and stuff, but I'd love to play with him again.
Oh, I like watching him. I really do. He, I've taken a few pictures of him, a couple of videos for my own personal, because there's a couple of songs he does I really like.
Oh yeah.
Really good player.
Yeah, and I played with Journey played with us after Levi's exit. Journey played with us a little bit, and man, I'll tell you what, he's another fascinating guitar player to me.
He's good.
Very instinctual.
Yeah.
I gotta give that to him.
Yeah, Josh does not know how good he is.
He does not.
He doesn't.
he probably don't, man.
He doesn't.
I seen him a couple of times when he played, I think, with Burnham Road, and he was really good.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. He was drinking, like, it was New Year's Eve. Pop Fiction and Burnham Road did a dual show, and I was working with Pop Fiction at the time, and it was 2020 because he was drinking Mad Dog 2020 and having a blast laughing at it, and it was hard to take him serious. And I'm still
That's
like going,
Josh Journey
I'm
shit
like,
right there.
This guy's drunk as hell, laughing at me, doing all kind of poses and stuff. But he's playing, he's good, and he's pretty good. And then all of a sudden, here lately, and especially after his Wake and Mars come out, and I've seen a couple of shows, it's like he's really done some homework, or I just hadn't been paying attention or something.
And that's a good crew. They work well together.
Now, when you're talking about collaborate with them, and I know they do a lot of writing, they have a lot of conceptual type songs. Are you writing hits or just what feels good? Are you doing any type of concept album? Or
Me personally?
Yes, sir. You personally, Pistol.
I just take it as it comes, man. I never set any walls creatively in that regard. If I was case in point, we got a little group chat we call Martians with the Wake of Mars boys, and somebody brought up being, we need to have creative meetings. I believe it was Josh Journey, and just hash out some creative shit we can come up with to do together. And I was sitting there, I was like thinking in Jack Black, Orange County, where he's like, "Well, I got all kind of ideas, like a big old hat that goes pew," I was like, "Well, I got this song I sing when I put on deodorant, and it's like deodorant. I can get enough of it. I'll never run out of it. So give me some deo to tack on my BO. Oh, deodorant." And I was just, we were playing back and forth, and I sent that, and we all had a laugh,
Well, I mean, there's always jingles.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even Josh said something about that. He's like, "Man, we need to write that and send it to Degree."
Exactly.
Because that's what, in the second verse, I say Degree.
I use Native, and I think it may fit with Native better. It has that Native more home vibe. You seen
Native don't sound as cool coming off the tongue, though, man.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Native. I don't know. We might make it work. Hey, if Native wants to play ball, we will give them the deodorant.
It's amazing what American dollars can do, isn't it? It's kind of like when, at least the good thing about Native, it doesn't have any dementia causing stuff in it,
It's organic.
Yeah, it's organic.
Cool.
You can eat it.
That.
Yeah, you can eat it.
We can go around smelling like Matthew McConaughey all day.
McConaughey all day.
Yeah, he's one of those organic guys.
He is.
I think he bathes with a dry sponge or something like that.
I think so. I listened to his. I listened to his.
I wonder how that works.
I'm talking like a sea sponge.
I'm not sure what that is, but yes. Now, I listened to his audiobook, and it was awesome. And he read his own audiobook.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic.
I wonder if you liked it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
But the book?
Yeah, when he read his own book, I wonder if he liked it.
Oh, and that's a dad joke. That's a dad joke, Kevin.
I don't know, but he does say some very motivational things, and
like take me to jail. I'm not putting my clothes on. We're going just like this. Yeah, and then he tries to run and jump and do a flip over the cop butt naked in the middle of a Texas neighborhood. It didn't happen. It didn't work out. He was just playing bongos naked with a little bit of weed at 3:00 in the morning.
Hey man,
for 3 days straight.
Hey, LIVIN.
That's it. But when we're talking about different. You do other things. Maybe you do any like stage acting, comedy. You get out there and broaden yourself anywhere outside the music world.
I do. I recently did one of my first stand-ups at Rita Brent's workout room.
Are you serious? Because I just said comedy just off the top of my head. And
Yeah, I'm serious.
well, you look kind of funny.
Could you give us 5 minutes to stand up right now?
Yeah, he's going to stand up.
I don't know about 5 minutes. I like to do sit-down comedy.
Yeah,
actually.
well, you don't. I didn't mean you have to stand up, but I mean, what I mean is, can you give us 5 minutes of your act?
I
Or a
could
couple of minutes.
I can give you one good minute.
We just put him on the spot.
Yeah, let's hear a good minute.
Can I heckle? No.
I started my act out, kind of like, what is it, AA or whatever. I come out, I'm like, I'm Pistol Black, y'all, and I'm a sex addict. And I said, I know what you're thinking. Everybody loves sex, but that's not sex addiction. Sex addiction can be a real dark, hairy, world. Y'all remember Backpage? You remember Backpage?
Yes.
Well, you might find yourself on Backpage at 3:00 in the morning, and you're trying to find a little nookie, and you see the headline. It's like BBW twins looking for 3-way match action. I'm like, BBW twins 3-way. I like all that. Sounds good. I thought I was about to go bang 2 fat chicks.
Right?
I didn't realize BBW was the name of their wrestling federation.
Oh.
Yeah, I showed up and got tossed around by 2 sweaty dudes in tights for 4 hours. It's not the sex I wanted, but it's the sex I got that night. And
It's never the sex we want, but we'll take any sex we get, though. I mean, the worst I had was still pretty good. You know what I mean?
It's like pizza,
Is it?
Even the bad pizza is still pizza.
I don't know if pizza's a good reference. So, yeah, what's this comedy place you said? Because there used to be a lot of comedy houses.
Hallamow's. But it's on Tuesday nights. I'm not even sure if she still does it anymore, but she was doing it for a while there, and it was called the Workout Room. I think Chad Wesley just played it a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
But I don't know if she's doing it every Tuesday now or like every other or what.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool. We used to have a good many comedy rooms around town.
There's some good comics that go up there too, man.
I was hoping. I've been seeing a lot of comedy acts and on reels with TikTok and stuff. There's a few people in Birmingham that I know that do it. I'll just hope it kind of grasp along. Working at casinos here, there's been talk around a couple of casinos about maybe having some comedy nights or something.
I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean,
me neither.
People, at least at the casino I go to, the band, it's a fixture back there. There's some people that are into it, but more people are just, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I feel like comedy would almost be a better fit sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Not all the time. Definitely when I have a band up there and cut loose sometimes, but yeah, throw some comedy in the mix.
Yeah, we hooked up keys and strings up at in the buffet one time. It's just a little buffet thing,
I like keys and string.
Yeah, they're good.
Guys.
Is it keys versus strings?
Keys versus strings.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
but same difference.
Guys. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, I had the luxury. I'm going blank on the keyboardist's name. But I was able to record him. Yeah, Marvin Curtis. Yeah, I was able to record him. About 20 years ago in my old studio, and that dude come in. I'd never met him before.
Was he badass back then too?
Dude, I mean, he was playing, just some iconic stuff.
Yeah,
Boston, foreplay and all that kind of stuff. It was just wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was so good.
They're easy to set up. When I was at
2 cables.
When I worked at Ameristar, when they had Ameristar, you had to have a 4-piece play at Ameristar. And so they had to have a drummer and a bass player. I can't remember the bass player's name, but he was from the Brookhaven era.
Oh, I was going to say, surely it was Clayton.
No, it wasn't Clayton Bell.
It was Clayton Bell.
Once again, here's Clayton.
Old bass guy. I've always called Clayton bass guy.
You ever played with Clayton?
Yeah, he actually, our last show we opened up with Blacktop Mojo, our last show here. Mm-hmm. We opened up for Blacktop Mojo, and Clayton came up and played American Girl with us on the fly. And that song's from my mom, man. Dude, she was a huge Tom Petty fan. And
That's a good Tom Petty song.
anytime I hear any Tom Petty, I think of her, but American Girl especially. We watched a lot of Silence of the Lambs when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Probably too young to be watching that movie, but that's
Right,
she
but-
was into the macabre,
Yeah.
and I dig that.
But isn't there a Tom Petty song in there?
Yeah, she's riding down the road singing
That's
American
it.
Girl.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a song they played a whole lot in the radio compared to some of his other stuff, so I enjoyed that. I really liked that song.
I liked it too. There'd be times she'd be in the kitchen, she'd throw it in. She had a little Sony, it looked like an alien head or an ant head or something CD player. And she'd throw it in there, and she'd be dancing around while she was cooking, and she'd sing that. She'd mouth the good don da don da don da don da 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 don da don. And I just got a kick out of it.
You hear that Rickenbacker screaming in that song.
Oh man, I love that song. Good memories.
I guess we didn't really go over this, but I know. But for the viewers for the listeners out there, and the viewers, I guess you what part do you play as far as within the band? You played drums, bass, guitar,
And Candy Bone?
and Candy Bone.
I mainly write the songs and sing. But sometimes I'll write some guitar parts,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I got drum licks in mind that I want played in certain areas, certain accents. I want to be accented a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll, just translate that to the musician and
Do you play at all?
play drums and all
Drums, guitar, anything?
that. I play drums, guitar, bass, all that.
Okay.
Dabble on the keyboard. I can write stuff. I can't just,
So when you say you write the song, you don't mean just lyrically. You write the music too,
Yeah, most times.
and then hand it off to the other guys.
Yeah, and we just build on it.
Right.
With Pistol Black, it was just like I said, we had a little inactive moment with Candy Bone, and I just did not want to be stagnant musically. I got to do something,
Right.
So I had all these country songs I'd been writing with hopes to pitch, and I just decided to, why not recording them and do them myself. Did that. Because I finally came up with the name Pistol Black too, so I had that. I initially dropped a pop song, and I wasn't never really.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was cool. It was creative. It was fun to go there creatively, but it wasn't something I was like proud of,
Yeah, right.
So I was like, let's switch it up. Let's try this. Pistol Black can be country too.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds kind of countryish.
Kind of outlawish, maybe.
Pirate.
I'm thinking pirate. Pistol slinging pirate.
Pistol Black. But
Arg.
yeah, I said, why not go for it? I dropped the song Another Spin, and then it did okay, And then I wound up dropping this song called You're Still My Hometown, and it did good.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, it's done better than my whole Candy Bone catalog
Wow.
since back then. It has already, surpassed it. That one song.
Yeah, that video was at like a high school football game, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. It was a homecoming game in Morton.
Yeah, was that your high school?
Yep, and we beat our district rival that night.
All right.
They didn't stand a chance this time.
This time.
It was funny. Somebody said, somebody from Forest made a Facebook post. It was like, come to think of it, Morton done had a whole parade and dropped a whole country song before the game. We never stood a chance.
Oh, man.
I was like, man, I got to share that. That's awesome.
That's pretty good.
Did Levi go to school there?
Levi went to Lake.
Lake.
I fished in a lake
Fished
Mississippi.
in a lake.
I did.
Oh, in Lake. That's cool.
It was really good fishing, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was odd.
It's God's country out there, man.
Yeah.
There's some talent out in Lake, too.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Levi's out there, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jack Plunkett, I think.
Jack. That's his little protege.
Yeah.
I like Jack. Jack is a good little kid. I seen him play several times. First time I seen him play, he was hanging around. She was at the Shelby County Fair.
Oh, okay.
And Kim Richardson was out there with her band, and she let him play a couple of songs, and he just like a natural.
She's so cool.
She is. Yeah.
I like her and Lane.
Lane, yeah, he's awesome.
Good people.
Both of them are great. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't Jack actually play with them for a while?
He did.
Filling in or something?
Right. He couldn't play at places like Ameristar because of the age.
Right.
There's state laws against it, at least there in Vicksburg.
Right.
I've seen other casinos where it didn't seem to matter, but I like
Is
that.
he out of high school yet?
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
I know he's like Cookie Woo. He's got a really good family backing.
That Cookie Woo, man. Yeah.
Yeah, what's up with them? I haven't seen them lately.
I'll tell you what's up with them. They're bad fucking ass, dude.
Right.
That's one of the tightest fucking bands I've seen live in a while around here. Like, just
Yeah. What I mean is, I just haven't seen them. They haven't been playing locally.
They just played
lately.
Martin's.
Did they?
They just played at Martin's. They played at Black Axis for that, like from Meridian. But
right.
Now she is talk about a band to photograph.
Yeah,
that is the band that I just get off on photographing. I mean, she is so animated. She's moving, and if you want to get a good, you got to be on.
He
your
says
game.
the band, but he keeps saying she.
Yeah.
Well,
what we getting at here, Scott?
Well,
there's so many jokes I had to lay off of too.
Right.
I was just like,
This is a loaded gun here.
Not going there.
This is a pistol black.
It's a pistol black.
I'd like to remind y'all that I mean, you know, I've been extreme back pain on muscle relaxers and stuff, and that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it.
But yeah, no, I can imagine.
Well, the guy on guitar he's there with his hair right in front of his face the whole time, and that's cool. And they all have this good look, and
it's a mystique.
Yeah, they all have this look. She's really active because you know you have him there and she's spinning. You know, you really got to get. And now where I shot him at was Black Axis, which is extremely difficult to shoot because they have those monitors behind the band. And I wish bands would request they cut the monitors off.
Yeah,
it takes away.
We did that last weekend.
We
went and saw Waking Mars there and had them shut the monitors
Did
off.
Did they do it?
Yeah, they did it for me and Kim. They did.
Okay.
Kim said, "Shut them fuckers off."
Yeah,
and they did.
Mm-hmm. Cookie Woo, that whole band. The bass player, really cool guy.
Dude.
I wish I didn't get a chance to talk to. I think I talked to their parents more than anything. The bass player, they all got a cool look, man. You know?
They look like a cartoon band almost.
Right.
Honestly, like it's. What's that band from back in the day where they do I'm happy, I'm feeling good.
Gorillas.
Yeah, like dude,
exactly.
I can totally see Cookie Woo being a cartoon band like that.
Yes.
But
Anybody know
integrating animation with their live look.
Oh man, that live look with the guitars with his hair down like that
I know,
would be
dude.
so death clock.
But
You don't happen to know the story on the name Cookie Woo, do you?
I don't
Okay.
It's got to
Do
be
you?
some anime something.
Yeah,
don't
I was
know.
just
see
curious.
anime. I mean, I could totally see that being an anime
We
type.
need-
If
band.
any of the
We need to
viewers
get
out,
them on here.
yeah,
totally.
if any of the viewers out there, you can write in questions or and let us know if y'all know the answer to any of this because we'd love to hear from you. But them together with Waking Mars and what you got going on with the original music too. Because I seen you with your hair down, man. It's gonna be a cool look too. You know, you know, I'd really love to be in on some of that for sure.
Definitely.
You know. Absolutely. That and you talk about you're talking with them, like-minded groups coming together and form, not a union or anything, but just having a conversation about stuff is good.
A movement within this scene. Man.
You think that's what it's going to take to get this scene going in Jackson? Do you
I don't think the scene's not going, but I think the scene's not elevating itself, and I think that's what it's going to take.
Okay.
Jackson, this is the birthplace of America's music. Why are we not a mecca like Nashville or Austin?
Or New Orleans?
This should be a major hub just like any of those other places. And I think with the right, like-minded individuals, we can elevate this scene and make that happen. I really do.
I think so too.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the goal.
Surprising that it's not done more over the years because even I mean shit. I've been in the business for a long time. I mean, even back in the day, there were some killer bands.
Yeah.
Some killer, original bands.
And competition's great.
But you just know that if you stay here, you're not going anywhere.
No doubt. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, that's with anything. You gotta get out there and push it.
Right.
You know,
Can't
this is a whole
saturate the
big
market.
wide world. You know, but
Well, kind of having you don't actually live in Jackson, but you're kind of a Jackson area player.
mm,
Waking Mars, they're kind of in between Jackson and Meridian.
Mhm.
They can kind of go away. And Cookie Woo is like a Meridian thing. Maybe it's like a pipeline between that area.
oh yeah,
I would like to see a lot more of that. But now, what I'm kind of concerned about, though, is when you have there's two different types of bands, basically. You got a band that plays covers and a band that plays on original music. Now, Cookie Woo and Waking Mars, and you mentioned also you could do a cover if you wanted to, or you think about doing cover. Cookie Woo and Waking Mars had a really cool blend of covers and the original music. And what they did their own way. I'd hate to see cover bands say, we're doing this and we're on the circuit, we're making this money, y'all just pounding out, or like we're originally write our own stuff, you're just copying somebody else. I'd hate to see any of that.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
It's necessary at this time with the current pay structure and the way people are. These clubs are hiring bands. You got to fill X amount of time. You're gonna have to play some covers if you don't have the original catalog to fill that up.
I think I resigned myself to the fact that a lot of bands, or pretty much all the bands that I work with, are mostly cover bands. But it's always like we got to play what the crowd wants. We got certain standards we have to play and all this. And I'm like going, it's just because they play something different they don't know, or try to something. But you're just going to have to play that. And I think a healthy balance of originals and bands that do covers to satisfy the audience, to get everybody together and slowly blend a little bit.
Yes.
Slowly blend, and see if you can make something happen. We would love to be a part of that.
And a lot of
too.
that depends on where you play. I mean, if you're playing the reservoir circuit, you're going to have to play covers.
Yeah. That's what I mean,
Yeah, you can sneak some originals in here and there, kind of like Waking Mars does.
I've done it. Like with Pistol Black, the shows I played at Pelican, I had to do covers then,
Right.
But I integrated every original I could.
But when you come to Jackson, though, I think Jackson is the area where you're going to expect to play. It's going to be more of the opposite.
Yeah, they want your original stuff.
Because, there should be, I mean, even back in the day, there should be, you got Hallamals, you got Martins, and you got F. John's Corner on the end. There used to be bars in between, and there should be, and they got the roads done different. There should be, get the old trolley back going again, take people in between the clubs, or have a walk. You can walk actually from those areas. But make downtown like a place to come see music, because I think that's how you get a revitalization of a city anyway. Start with entertainment.
I think the problem is nobody wants to invest downtown.
Well, we're doing to invest in themselves.
Entertainment and gentrification. I love the art stuff that's going on.
At this point, anything you do is an investment. So
but I mean, Jackson's got such a reputation.
Parts of it, yeah.
It does.
And I mean, Hallamals and Martins, they're okay, but anybody else coming in, I mean, a lot of businesses left for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, very true.
And it's like, if I was going to set up shop somewhere, I don't know that I'd want to do it in Jackson.
I hadn't given up on Jackson yet. Man. I haven't. I know a lot of people have. And I'm not saying you have, Kevin. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I grew up in that city.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me and Scott both did. And, of course, it was way different back then.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So,
yeah.
But
I remember when Metro Center was booming. And,
yeah.
Oh, man. It was good times. It was great memories,
Oh, yeah.
But like at this point, the only real conversation you can have without everybody just getting mad and picking sides and blaming this or that or whatever is if we can get an entertainment scene at all. You got to start somewhere, plant a seed, and that's what you're talking about trying to do. Talking with
one
different
thing,
people.
but like you said, comedy too. Like we need all that happening, and on a frequency that's it's keeping it alive.
Absolutely, because it didn't take nothing just to hook up one mic for a guy as you changed bands over between like a 3-band thing. We're going to have a comedy act in between.
And honestly, a lot of comedy places need a little in-house band to do stuff. Somebody's got to do.
And a sideshow freak every once in a while. That'd be good too. Like stick something through their tongue or something.
Yeah,
That'd
like
be great.
Rita would have a band, or she would host an artist that night to be the in-house that night.
I remember Martin's used to have a guy who would come in and just start with a charcoal thing and start painting or drawing as the band was playing.
Yeah,
whatever band that was there.
Jason Jenkins.
That's probably who it is.
I think so. He's the one that painted the Martin, all that on the outside of Martin.
Okay. And just sit there and just as the show progressed. And what was really cool is when they had like some bands that come through that played just basically ambient music or something. Because that was back when Robert was running all the music there before Chris was. And I think Chris was probably in bands there at the time, actually. Yeah, it was really neat. Something kind of artsy, anything like this. There's a lot of good artists on a lot of different levels.
Oh yeah,
in town.
Oh, by far, dude.
Not just music, but everything.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of. If you just take the time to look now, even the graffiti is awesome downtown and stuff. There's some fine graffiti there on Mill Street. I wouldn't even call it graffiti at this point. It's there's art because people spend a lot of time and I think they got permission to do these big murals anyway.
That gives people incentive to walk around downtown. They want to go look at that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Or at least drive by.
Yeah, at least drive by and not get drove by home.
Right. I just started
poor
working
old
back.
Jake E. Lee.
Oh, poor Jake E. Lee.
Yeah,
Can we take a moment to
he got Jake E'd.
reach out for Jake E. Lee for taking one for the team or something?
Took 1-1.
He took 3.
He took 3? Oh, okay.
He took 3.
Yeah. I wonder if he barked
Still
like
kicking.
the moon.
That's
Oh
crazy.
man.
Absolutely crazy.
I mean, not Jake.
Yeah, of all people, Jake.
But yeah, that's what our goal is. We want to elevate it to that point and make people want to come back and but have something here for ourselves.
If nothing else, we need to provide a place for Cody to come down there and hang out with us. Yes. It's kind of like having your local Lemmy. Cody Smith is our local Lemmy. That's what he is.
He is, dude. He sure is.
Just like Clayton Pell is the local bass player.
The local bass player. Yep.
Have you ever ridden his hearse?
I hadn't rode in his hearse.
Me neither. And
I've seen him.
I have an issue with that.
Seen him all over town. Yeah.
Clayton.
I don't want to ride in a hearse for a very long time, to be honest.
One time would be fine with me, I guess. Maybe think about it. I'm not really in a hurry to get there, but
right.
If Clayton was driving, I don't know, maybe I'll go early.
Yeah.
Don't even know what that means. He's going to come on the show and, oh, please, Clayton, come on the show.
Yeah, Clayton. What the heck, man?
See?
You don't want to come on the show? You should have came on with me. I should have hit you up next time.
Bring the hearse.
Bring the hearse. We'll ride up in the hearse. Heck yeah. I did reach out to Clayton recently because I'm trying to put a lineup together for Pistol Black, so we talked about that. I reached out to another local guy, Patrick Ballard. I
know Patrick.
Talking to a band out of, I met them in Caledonia. I think they're out of Natchez.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing them play this weekend, they were awesome. So I'm trying to do something, get a lineup going with Pistol Black, so I'm gonna start doing stuff around here too.
Now you have done some. We talked about a little bit of your video work with Waking Mars.
Yeah. So that's part of the whole little collaborative effort thing we're trying to get off. Is if we can all help one another do stuff like that and knock out big projects like that together. It was a perfect storm of collaborative effort, honestly. And I'm elated with the final product, and I think they are.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all seen it?
Yeah, we did. It's really good. I like it a lot.
I'm surprised at how quickly and how well it all came together and how good it looks. Like it's my first music video like that to do, and I'm just stoked about it. I can't wait for people to see it.
Right,
on the 28th. Found the locations. Eric had the story already in his head.
Mm-hmm.
And everything they did, it just made my job way too easy, you know.
Way too easy. It was a simplistic way you approached it. It didn't come out simplistic.
It didn't. It came out, but that's where I say that perfect storm of collaborative effort. Like I said, man, we all had a singular vision and goal, and we executed it properly, you know, with the sole purpose of, you know, getting this done right for Wake and Mars, you know.
Okay.
And I can't be happier with how it turned out.
All right.
It is so cool, man. I remember when we were sitting out there and they were testing the PA and they played a piece of the song. I hadn't heard it yet. They played a piece of the song and I thought it was just some song, you know. I was like, dude, that sounds tight, you know. Then the vocals kicked in and I was like, fuck yeah. And I was like, that's Eric Burgess. I was like, is this the song we're doing? And they were like, yeah, man, yeah. And I was like, holy fuck, dude. This is one of the best fucking original rock songs I've heard out of this area in a long time.
Yeah. It's good.
Better than anything to me I've done. You know, I like my shit, but I was fascinated and very proud, you know, of my homies for that. And I was just like blown away and super excited that I had the opportunity to work on that.
You tend to on your own music with is the music with Candy Bone and your Red Light Vendetta, is that like do you try to keep those bands totally separate as in styles, or you still have a basic?
I don't really. I'm me, you know. I'm gonna have an identifiable thing about me and the way I play. I'm sure that's gonna carry over into anything I do, but I don't try to make one thing sound like the other.
Okay, so you just gonna throw it out there, let them decide.
I just try to serve the song.
Serve the song,
you know, the way I know how to. So if that piece of me shines through, that's just how it is. But I'm not trying to make one thing sound like the other. A lot of times Tristan will write a song and I'll just put my thing to that, or we'll write a song together.
Now Tristan, he's with Candy Bone, or
Tristan's Red Light Vendetta.
Red Light Vendetta.
Yeah. Either, like I said, he'll write a song or we'll write a song together, or I'll write a song. And, you know, we just do our thing together on it, you know. And that's Red Light Vendetta.
And he plays guitar, bass, drums. What?
He plays guitar and sings.
Guitars.
Yeah. And he's an excellent songwriter, man. Really good, you know.
And you play a little bit of everything, so this all kind of comes together as that.
Yeah, so right now I've played on the 2 singles that are out. I produced it for him, played bass, drums, and lead guitar.
Okay.
And I love the singles. Really cool songs. Both he wrote. I co-wrote on them, but I didn't have to add much. He already had it there, probably, you know, 90%. I just, you know, like change a word here and added words here on the other one, you know. But it's all Tristan. As far as those songs go, he mainly wrote them, and I just did my thing. Okay.
Now, I know you kept that video simplistic. As far as your playing, whether it's drums or bass or guitar, are you like an amp guy, or you have just preset stuff, or you keep things really simple?
Yeah.
Or do you even really put a whole lot of thought into the gear? You just want the result?
I want the sound.
You want the sound.
Yeah. However we got to go about getting the particular sound, you know, we'll chase it down with the gear we have.
Right.
But no, I'm not a gear junkie. I mean, naturally, you want the best gear you can get, but I got to work with the gear I got.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I do, and I'm usually satisfied. You know, if I ain't, I'm gonna go searching for it. I'll find that thing I'm looking for.
Now, are you writing these songs to get like a satisfaction, to get satisfied from, or is it a type of therapy for you? Is it a workout?
It's certainly therapeutic in that regard. And, you know, like, it's just, this don't ever stop running, you know? It's always thinking about, if it's not songs or music, it's movies or music videos or, you know, comedy, something, you know, I'm trying to figure something out. Painting, you know, I do that too.
Yeah, you do painting. Now, see, that's where I go back to artists. There's a lot of different artists, and our own Kevin Williams used to paint a lot. I wish he'd get back into it, and he's going to turn me on to one of his paintings, let me take it home one day. But
yeah, I used to really get into that. It is therapeutic. I've always been the type that I had to have something to do. You know, if I got out of music, and I had periods where I'd get out of music and get out of the scene and do something else. And
sometimes you got to decompress.
Yeah, man. But I always had to have something to do.
Yeah.
So, you know, I got into guns. You know, I love guns.
Yeah, I like guns.
So I got into guns. I got into
Pistol Black, baby.
Remote control aircraft. You know, I got into helicopters and airplanes and stuff
tight.
for a while.
That's tight.
Then I got into painting, and now I'm back in rock and roll again.
Heck yeah, man. We're glad to have you back.
Yeah,
I would wreck the shit out of those damn helicopters and
Absolutely, you would. I did too. That's part of it.
I would wreck every damn one of them. I know it.
Oh, you would.
Dude, I remember one
starting
time,
out, you would.
When drones started first hitting the market for civilians like that, you know, we got our first one. I remember we sent it up in the air, dude. It never came back, bro. It just kept going down the highway. We were like, what? Brand new drone, gone.
Yeah, I've got a drone back in the back of the house that I haven't done a whole lot with, but
yeah,
I need to get it out and do some stuff with it.
Yeah, man. If that thing shoots, we need to use it.
Yeah, it shoots. That's why I bought it.
Yeah, I'm talking about bullets.
Oh, no, it doesn't do that. It shoots video.
No, I'm joking.
It shoots good video.
But yeah,
His name is Pistol Black. What did you expect?
Right. Now, I got plenty of guns, but I don't think this drone's going to, lift one of them.
Yeah, we'll just duct tape some guns to it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This particular drone wouldn't be able to lift them.
Oh, man. We need a new drone.
Light. It's small.
But yeah, no, if you can shoot with that drone, I'd love to, let's try to work that into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I didn't have in my disposal this time. I got some buddies that got drones and run them, but they're one's down on the coast, the other one's in Orlando.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually pretty amazing what kind of video quality you can get from these things now.
Oh yeah,
and it's a DJI.
And the shots,
it's
the
not
angles.
one of the cheap ones, but
you can do a lot with them. You can make it look like you're on a jib.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah,
but I hadn't done a whole lot with it like I thought I would.
I need to get back into more photography myself. I just my week job it's been the job I've been wanting for a long time, and now I got it.
You got to put into it.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah, but I instead of like I said, I was working a little bit at Ameristar. I'm not no more. I had to go ahead and resign from that. I just don't have the time. It's not really fair,
Well, unfortunately, I got all the time in the world now.
Right.
Well, we're gonna figure something out to do.
Or fortunately, I have all the time.
We're gonna do some drone work.
Yeah,
and some podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to put some effort, like I say, in what I do with some bands with some original stuff,
Yeah, man.
Because it's all
it's hard, man.
I like pushing people and making things happen.
And it's hard to get a good product that you're not having to pay out of the ass for, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just hard right now, and a lot of bands ain't got it like that. This economy ain't even supportive of that right now.
Right, there exactly.
So if there's anything we can do to help each other, like now's the time. Let's do this stuff. Let's get through this rough patch together,
right?
And then watch where we come out.
Mm-hmm.
Just watch.
I try to keep work with people's budgets and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially, and if you want to work, you almost have
and look,
to.
If there ain't a budget, think about back end. If you think there's something that can happen on the back end, we'll get your back end.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, working with people with their own original products, own original art or whatever, it's a lot easier to justify doing something pro bono.
Yeah.
It really is.
Pro boner.
Yep. There's always that.
But, yeah.
But I got to buy a different lens. I do, dude.
The equipment macro lens? What are you talking about?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a little bitty macro lens, but it's a fisheye macro lens, so it gets the end of it really nicely.
I want to, somebody I'm excited to see come out and do this old manna.
Oh yeah, with Eric.
Yeah.
Yes. And the Parker brothers.
Yeah,
and
I don't know those guys, but
with them.
But some of the stuff I heard was good.
Yeah. Just the little jam throughs I've heard on Facebook and stuff. And I'm an Eric Lachey fan.
You cannot not like Eric.
Not me. I love him.
Well, that's what I mean.
Honestly, I've known about Jared forever, and just I think he almost had a record deal back in the day, or did have one with Universal or somebody. If I can say that, I'm not trying to put anybody's business out there, but that's back when they were throwing out developmental deals and other,
Right.
you know, people could go out and play somewhere, get seen, and you know something happened. Now it's like you got to be, you know, TikTok fame. You got to not need
Right.
a record deal to get one nowadays.
Right.
Anyway, I'm just very excited to see what these guys do.
I am too.
Because the stuff I've heard just on their little Facebook videos, it's just like, dude, that's fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fat.
We did a show with him. Podcast is pretty good.
Oh, yeah, Eric's. Yeah, I
We'd
watched
like-
it. Yeah.
we'd
Yeah.
like-
Eric's one of the most interesting characters you'll ever meet.
Oh, yeah. He's a smart dude.
Yeah,
too.
he is.
Very smart.
And he looks like Al Bundy.
He looks totally Ed O'Neill, dude. Ed O'Neill. For sure. I think that's one of the first things I told him when I met him back in the day. Because he had shorter hair then, too. I was like, you going to sell me some shoes, man, or what?
He goes back a long, he's, actually, Kevin and I go back a long ways. He's part of that group, goes way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was back. You know, he's one of those cats that was at Mellow Mushroom. In fact, that drummer I was talking about had came there with Eric to play. But yeah, that's where I met Eric, was at Mellow Mushroom.
I've always been on the road or working or somewhere else, and I don't think I've ever really ever shot any band he's played in. I really hardly seen him play much. Maybe one time. I think he holds it against me
He's awesome. He's
in a
good.
fun way. Oh, I love him to death.
He's
Yeah.
fun to talk to about conspiracy theories, too.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I don't doubt that one bit.
Yeah. And that'd be a fun thing to talk about, too.
You know, he's real though. He's a real cat in the sense that I met him mostly on Facebook and interactions with him on Facebook.
Yeah.
We've only met a couple of times in between there, but after we become friends on Facebook, the first time we saw each other, we picked up right where we left off, like we were friends. You know, he's actually a real friend. He's not just, you know, people talk about Facebook friends, you get this many friends and blah, blah, blah. He's a real one,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
As soon as I walked in, that was old Randall Pants. It's like, man, that's my dog. Yeah, we're all about dogs.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Heck
He's a real friend.
Yeah, great people, man. Great people. What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Ooh. Well, right now, I tell you what I'm watching.
What's up?
I watched a documentary by Oliver Stone that was made, I think, in 2016 called Ukraine on Fire.
Ukraine on fire.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about it, man.
It gives a history of Ukraine up until 2016,
Yeah. Okay.
before the war and stuff, or before this war.
Right.
And it's interesting, you know. I there's some things you hear, and you hear people say this, you hear people say that, but you know, this is a pretty cool documentary done, like I say, by Oliver Stone, about the history of Ukraine and how it got to where it was in 2016. I ain't gonna run it for anything, but
Yeah.
you know, they were right in the middle of basically right in the middle of Germany and Russia, in between them in World War II. You know, they're always, you know, fight with one against the other, or fighting the other against the, you know, they just caught in the middle. What can they do?
Yeah.
And inevitably, the country is split that way to this day, and that's
Just
why they basically don't get along.
Geographically fucked.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure it's a hard life, you know. Unfortunately, our hard lives in here in Mississippi has transpired a lot into music, I think,
Yeah.
versus fighting any more than what we have.
Yeah.
You know, we had I know we had a dark past, we had a lot of things going on, but we always had that music and stuff in the underground, and there's always, there may be a lot of racist stuff going on, but not in the music scene.
Music was the
Not in the music
that's the thing
scene,
that
brother.
tied it all together, man.
I've got some great friends in the music machine,
Yeah.
in the music industry. I've met several groups that I would meet them for the first time running sound for them. They're kind of, you know, not really sure about me, not know me and everything. And shoot, after sound check and right before the show, we're all in a prayer circle, you know, 'cause,
Exactly.
you know,
Amen.
praying together, you know, before the show.
Having church.
Absolutely.
And that's what I go
like,
to shows for, man. I don't go to be entertained. I go to have a spiritual experience.
Absolutely.
And I've been taken there right here on the local circuit several times, man.
Yeah.
Hell, one of the it wasn't the last time FTR played, but a while back, Jordan got in a fist fight at this show. Actually, some drunk guy got up there and started trying to grab on his mic.
His mullet? His mic, not his mullet. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, not his mullet.
How was his mullet? He didn't hurt his mullet, did he?
His mullet didn't move, and Jordan decked the guy. And,
Usually the mullet does the fighting, but you know, in this case, I guess not.
I think that's what happened. He went full on mullet and just like
He went full redneck, huh?
oh man, he framed old boy's red. That's for sure, dude. He busted his nose pretty good. Jordan had blood all over him. I had to go out there. I took him a towel, I think, or something. But he went right back on stage and fucking put on one of the best rock shows I've ever seen Jordan Newman play in my life.
I think so.
Them
Yeah,
as
well,
a
he was
band
on the
even.
adrenaline at that point.
He's the kind of guy that needs that before a show.
Dude, it was like they did this
Not really.
Tuesday's
That's a
Gone
lie.
cover, and it was almost like fucking Leonard Skinner was playing with them in the background. Like I was hearing stuff that I ain't never heard back there. It was weird,
Right.
man. It was cool though. It was a spectacle to see, and that was one of those spiritual moments for me. And then Cookie Woo the other night at Black Axis.
I was going to say before we go to that, you're talking about spiritual thing with you know framing the red. It's like don't get too close to Cody's dreads because you'll get a little spiritual buzz from that too. So that could have been what was going on.
I think we've smoked one of Cody's dreads one time. Got very high.
I know they do when they get low. Either coming back from Colorado or something done had their
Is
stash
this a
going.
conspiracy in its own?
Oh man.
Cody's gonna kill me.
That you know that you're on to something. I think that's really their secret is smoking Cody's dreads. I mean, how in the heck?
I almost spit water everywhere, dude.
Well, what does it taste like? His dreads? You know what it tastes like. You hit that bong, hadn't you? Come on, don't lie to me.
You ever
Quit.
had Florida Man beer?
No.
Oh my god, it tastes like a damn sack of weed brewed in a dirty sock.
I had a 420 beer and it tasted like that.
I had some in Pensacola one time. I think that's what it's called, Florida Man, and that's exactly what it tastes like.
Florida Man would taste like that.
Tasted like some pretty good mid brewed in a dirty sock.
Yeah.
And some water.
Yeah. And that sock, when you say dirty sock, it's that dirty sock they found on the beach, right? After the tide.
It's old dirty Pensacola sock.
Yeah, I got that little jellyfish in there. It's already got
That old
hard.
Florida Man sock. But damn, Cody's dreads, that's funny as fuck.
Oh yeah. It's almost as funny as your comedy. Now, yeah, your comedy. I mean, how did you come up? How did you come out? How did you come up with
Wow, Scott. Tell us how you really feel,
Well,
buddy.
I mean, no. He was telling me earlier about your new stick was being the world's largest midget. Was that correct? Are you sure?
I never said the word midget.
You never did?
Until just now.
It's a little person.
I
isn't
say
it?
little people, yes. I'm a big fan of Warwick Davis. I would never say that other word.
Oh, well, I did.
Unless
Sorry.
we're talking about midget wrestling, which is what it's called. In that case, we get a bye, I think, naturally.
Which I'm upset because they just had it at the Hideaway and I missed it again because I was
They had it
working.
again?
Yeah, I
And
think
we
it was
missed
last
it.
week. Yeah.
You know,
It was just a little show, though. It wasn't very big.
I could watch midget anything, you know, midget wrestling, midget porn.
Say it.
It's just-
There you go. Bridget the midget.
Say it.
Bridget the midget.
Yeah, I'm wanting to say something. My wife is listening. But
Hey,
then again,
wife.
she's heard me say it before anyway.
Well, she doesn't have a mic, so she can't talk back.
We're not even gonna
She's
talk
loud
about
enough I can still hear.
We're not even talk about those sexy little people on TikTok.
Well, oh yeah. They're out there. But you know, the original for me was Bridget the midget, and I used to get jealous of people, you know, having sex with her on camera, and that was stupid. You know, that's how much in love with her I was. The perfect, yes. She had a bad deal. She's in trouble now for something. I think she's in jail, maybe.
Did you know too? Little people can make an adult human. I mean, not an adult human. What am I saying? It's like a normal size.
I like that.
So you're saying two makes one?
Well, they stand on the shoulders? What are you talking about?
Are you talking about the heights? What are we talking about?
Yeah, they can make like they
don't get
a not little person.
Look, if they have sex, they don't get smaller till they eventually disappear. That's not how this works.
Right.
Oh my God.
Wow. Have y'all been drinking?
No, but
No, but we're gonna start.
yeah, I mean, it's like, I think I'm due for another muscle relaxer.
I think I could use a shroom and a joint right now.
Not necessarily in that order.
It sounded like you already hit it.
I did. I'm not gonna lie. That's why they call it the green room, kid.
You'd think I'd know.
Heck yeah. Speaking of that, one time, dude, Kevin Bacon came to Doolin Hall.
I love bacon.
Oh
The
man.
Bacon brothers.
Oh, bacon.
Yeah.
Well, who doesn't love bacon?
Exactly.
And then Kevin Bacon's just super fucking cool. But well, except for this one time.
Oh no.
All right. No, it wasn't Kevin Bacon's fault. It was my fault. But I did some dumb shit. And
You're covered for bacon.
It turned out funny. I didn't get banned, thank God. But I'm not banned from bacon. But they played at Doolin Hall, and I took me a couple joints up there. I like to go see kind of offbeat acts like that. You know, I was like, I didn't even know Kevin Bacon was in a band. Hell yeah, I'll go check this out.
Right.
And went up there. They put on a great show, dude. They're excellent musicians.
Really?
Killer harmonies and stuff. He and his brother. I was hanging out backstage. I went after. I kind of cut short to go, go have a J before everybody really piled out. And they were all coming out there, and everybody was swarming him. And I was like, I'm just come over here and chill to myself and smoke my little cigarette after my J, and something told me, like, when he comes over here, if he comes over here, shake his hand and hell, give him a joint.
Yeah, give him drugs. That's it. He's famous. Get him in drugs.
Yeah, it's Kevin Bacon. Give him a joint, man. I don't know what made me think Kevin Bacon would even want a joint. I don't know anything about Kevin Bacon in that regard, but something, emboldened me to the point I'm like, I'm slipping this guy a joint.
What would you give P. Diddy if you met him?
You'd give him a lot more than a joint, I promise
Hell
you.
no. Hell no.
If you meet him, you're in a bad place anyway.
Yeah.
So
He doesn't need your joint.
No.
He's going to take care of you.
Yeah. But
He's going to take care of you.
yeah, he wound up coming over there, man, and we shook hands. I was like, man, badass concert, and I had the J kind of between my fingers, and I shook his hand, and left it with him, and he was like, oh, okay, yeah, and he walked off about 4 steps, and then he, you know what? And he like held that thing up like it was an Olympic relay baton, and he was like, I can't have this, man. I can't take this. And I was like, oh, snap. Cop comes out of nowhere like, what is that? What is that, by the way?
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, I got busted for giving Kevin Bacon a joint at Doolin Hall.
Of course, they let him go. He just kept on walking.
Yeah, he walked straight on his bus and went and smoked his weed. I'm pretty sure.
In private.
Yeah, I don't know if Kevin Bacon smokes weed. That's just a joke. But it worked out because
he almost smoked weed.
Because I wound up not going to jail. They released me on my own recognizance, and the Bacon brothers came back next year. I wound up hitting them up on Twitter. I was like, hey, maybe I won't get arrested this time. And they were like, dude, when you get here, come see us,
And bring some weed.
So I was like, okay, cool. I wound up getting VIP, and I showed up there, and they were like, hey, you get to the back of the line. The Bacon brothers want to talk to you.
Yeah, you saying that, I would have showed up with toast, lettuce, and tomato and some mayonnaise. Just to see if anybody got it.
Right. But I did.
That's my Halloween costume this year, I think.
Hell yeah.
My object is to go find bacon.
So you're going to be a BLT?
No, well,
He's
I'm
gonna
gonna be a LT until I find the bacon.
Lieutenant. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully I'll find bacon that night, and I'm not even sure what that means.
But I wound up hanging out, and I got down to it, and he was like, man, I hope you got out of all that trouble real, cleanly and everything. I was like, yeah, man, it all worked out. Everything is good. He's like, sorry about that. He was like, well, I'm glad you came out of it. He's like, man, you want to take a picture?
Right.
It's like, fuck yeah, take a picture with y'all, man,
You should have pulled out a joint by about that time. Snap. Yep, gotcha.
But, I got to sit front row that night. And
Nice.
that same cop that hauled me off the year before, came over there, and he was like, what's up, buddy? You remember me, man? He's like, I ain't gonna mess with you tonight, you know?
I hate when cops recognize me like that.
Yeah, dude, this guy's like, oh, shit. But he was super cool about it then, you know? He was like, he said it, I ain't gonna mess with you tonight. It's like, cool, man. I enjoyed the show, dude.
Sounds
They
like
did
it.
a kick-ass fucking Tom Petty cover.
Did they?
Yeah.
Did they play Footloose?
No.
Oh, okay.
Tom Petty didn't.
You
do
know
that one,
what?
Well,
I can't
no, I'm talking about the
remember.
Bacon Brothers.
Honestly, I can't remember if they did or not. When you said that, it almost threw me back. Maybe they did, but I can't. Don't quote me on that. But they did do Tom Petty, and they did it justice.
What did they do, Mary Jane?
Kevin Bacon sang, I think so. I really do.
Did they dedicate that to you?
No,
And there's that stoner
should
that sits up front. You can't quit going to jail.
yeah. This guy
He
got
thinks he's
arrested.
funny, but he's really just a big
We're going to
midget.
dedicate this to
He's just
Pistol
a big
Black.
This guy got arrested our last show.
Oh, Mr. Pistol Midget, I mean Black.
Well, somebody
That
mentioned
was
this a while
Pistol
ago.
Black.
P. Diddy.
P. Diddy.
What do y'all think of that shit?
I don't think
I
anything
don't
of it.
think of it. Yeah.
I thought we just said the same thing. Yeah, I'm so far away from that music,
Yeah.
him, and that lifestyle.
I mean, I can't stand him, but
You know, more
But-
money, more problems.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
man, there's some shit coming out of that deal.
Yeah. I hope more shit comes out and
Yeah.
they bust all these
Yeah,
fuckers.
I think there's going to be a lot of people going down,
But,
most likely.
You know, that's like that Epstein's list shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's going on?
yeah, what's
Yeah.
going on with it
What's up
now?
with
Yeah.
Well, he's dead, so now nothing's
Is he?
going on.
I don't know.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, surprisingly, he killed himself. Quote.
Yeah, so did Vince Foster.
prison.
Then he drove himself to a park.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting what happens with this PDD.
But what happened
There's
to-
a lot
what-
of big names.
What happened to his wife? She was in jail testifying and had the list of all the people, and all of a sudden, why wasn't she Epsteined? I mean, why didn't she die? You know, why is she still alive and where's she at? What's going on? Why there's no answers there?
Yeah, I have a feeling there's some important people
There's-
on this list that the government doesn't want us to know about.
On both sides.
Well, yeah, I would feel like that would be more on the Epstein list.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about is Epstein.
The
but
P. Diddy thing.
P. Diddy's going
is
to
like
be a lot
more
of
of an
the,
entertainment end.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't doubt there's some political
I would imagine.
favors there, too, or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I would imagine.
But, you know, like, we've all...
The Pentagon is steeped in Hollywood. Oh, I didn't say that.
Okay,
I'm gonna have to edit that.
Cut that out.
Yeah, we won't be talking about that as a conspiracy theory. There's not a place in the Pentagon where they have, I don't know, where they make movies and stuff in there. No, it's not. I didn't say that.
Well, you know, the whole industry, including politics, is corrupt. So I think we all know that.
Yeah, ain't no
And,
doubt. It's
You know,
a-
them some bitches we
Political
vote
theater.
to go into office. You know, I mean, they go in making $150,000 a year
come out
and come out millionaires.
Multi-millionaires.
How does that work? You know, well,
You
we
gotta
know how that
lobbying.
works. Yeah, we know how that works.
Different insurance, different retirement plan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a
You can
civil
vote.
servant
You
job.
can vote for your own raise. I mean, how nice is that?
Hey, man, somebody vote for me. I'm running for my life.
Yeah.
That's
Amazing.
a dumpster funk quote. I didn't make that up.
Okay. Dumpster Funk.
Dumpster funk.
That's a hell of a name. I like that.
Neville Brothers and his sons maybe did it.
Okay.
Yeah, big funk band out of New Orleans. They got a song called Dumpster Funk. Awesome.
Okay.
Anybody with two bass players has got to be a funky band.
Two bass players.
Two fantastic bass players.
Dude, was one of them Bootsy?
No,
Oh, yeah,
but
shit.
I wouldn't be surprised if he wouldn't fill in every once in a while. But that style, yeah. One guy played like that. Another guy played more like a,
Could you imagine Bootsy and Flea?
yeah.
That'd be or Jocko and
Mm-hmm.
Eric Ashe.
Right.
That'd be dope as
Jocko
fuck.
and Eric Ashe.
Hell yeah. And Clayton Pill.
Yeah.
The fucking trio of bass gods. That would be too much bass for your face.
Too much bass for your
Too
face.
much bass for your face right there. Just knock that sumbitch right off. You get slapped by the bass.
Kevin, was there a band back during the day that had two bass players?
Yes, there was. I was thinking about them as you said that.
Yeah.
They had Jason Bragg was the singer for the band.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a local band.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
a local band. Had two. It was one of their ideas. This is back in the Town Creek days.
Okay.
And,
So, hey, you guys want to have just one guitar and two bass?
yeah, they had one guitar and two bass players.
That's awesome.
Actually, Jason Bragg will be playing here in town
Yeah, he'll be
next Friday night.
Is it next Friday?
Next Friday, yeah.
I really wanted to get him on the show, but I couldn't get in touch with him.
Flinghammers open up for him, which is a staple around town for original players.
I'm definitely going to that Kill Devil Hill show.
Yeah, those dudes are good.
Oh, yeah.
Dewey.
Oh, Dewey.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah, he's one that's kind of done well, but he had to move away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he did, man. It's worked out for him. And
Yeah,
But he comes back, he's got family here.
yeah, his mom's here.
He's a real person. He's going to hang out to places, talk.
he's going to spend time with his friends and family, man.
Really
I
good
always
guy.
see him doing something with, old Matt Roberson or
Yeah.
Yeah.
his
Oh, love me
eating
some
out
Matt.
with his mom or
Exactly.
hanging out with his nephew. Just
Eating at Hamels.
eating in my house.
Yeah.
They like
yeah.
berries too over here.
And berries, yeah. He's eating good.
Yeah, he's doing well.
HD Gibbs, I think. What is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one on?
Yep.
But yeah, man, I look forward to this show. I love the band he's playing with right now.
Mm-hmm.
I
I like the
love the
lineup.
band he was with before. I love the lineup then, but I like this lineup for him. I think it brings just some kind of youthful thing to it, man. It makes it feel like a lost boy type thing to me, Like,
Yeah,
I dig
he's played with some killer.
oh yeah, hell yeah. Bill Ward, Rex
Bill Ward,
Brown,
yeah,
Vinny Appice.
Vinny Appice.
Vinny, yeah, Mark,
yeah,
Yeah.
Mark Zavon.
crazy,
Uh,
and he's jammed with others.
yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him. I think I've seen him on pictures of him on stage with Zach Wilde, and
I think, and I
bunch
could
of
be
them.
wrong about this. I think he used to run sound for Zach Wild or do something for him?
that I don't.
He's
know.
done something like that.
I
for
could
some-
be wrong. I don't know.
I think he actually. Now, don't quote me on this, and he didn't tell me this, but I want to say he worked for The Price is Right
Yeah.
in
That's
like
cool.
the
Hell
lighting
yeah.
or something.
Yeah, that
That's
too.
cool as shit.
That's how that may be how you have to pay bills or something out there.
Yeah, probably so. But that's
but-
probably a good gig.
But no, he was
Oh, I'm sure.
he was dabbling in the sound. I mean, I remember back in the day, him even being behind the board, because Matt Roberson was getting into it also and doing it.
Right.
And they're best friends. So, of course, he's right there behind him. And I think somebody, he was doing some maybe sound work for, I'm sure.
I miss working with old Matt Roberson, man. Having him run sound, dude.
He's good.
Yeah, I enjoy him. Well, he's gonna tell you how he feels too, boy. I love it.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard Matt
He
sing?
don't take no shit. Oh yeah, what was it? 2-ton meat plow.
2-ton meat plow.
Yeah, I recorded 2-Ton Meat Plow on some songs way back. And I had never heard Matt sing, and they come in, and of course they were heavy as shit. And
Yeah.
and he starts singing, and it's the Cookie Monster stuff, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I was thoroughly impressed. They had really good drummer too. I know that more towards the end, I can't remember the guy's name, but fantastic band. Fantastic name.
Yeah, I want to say they had Danny Ford at one time.
Mhm.
They had Dallas.
Dallas, that's the guy.
Yeah, he played with Lobotomy.
Mm-hmm. That's the
Oh,
guy
I
I'm
remember
talking
those
about.
guys. Lobotomy.
Yeah,
I love to watch him play.
yeah, he was a song. He was
Dude,
wow.
a buddy of mine sang for a badass metal group from here back in the day. I can't think of their name now.
What was his name?
His name was Marshall Bridges.
Marshall Bridges.
Bridges.
That name sounds familiar.
Sure does. But there was a lot of bridges in the
And I
Florence
think
era.
Lance Clark played drums for him.
Marshall Bridges.
Was it Severed Offerings?
Oh,
maybe?
Severed Offering. That's why it sounds familiar. Yeah, I recorded them too. Yeah, that
Really?
was with Perry, Lance, Marshall.
Dude, do you
Jeff?
have any of those recordings?
I do not, man.
Man.
I lost a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, see, Kevin used to do a lot of recording and stuff
That-
years ago.
That stuff, I don't know. I think I had like one or two songs. Or I might have had an EP. I can't remember, but I just remember that being some of the dopest metal like I'd heard, and it came from right here. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
it was-
Marshall, my buddy I grew up with, went to school with.
Right.
I
Yeah,
remember when he came. Oh, I'm sorry, Kevin. Go
No,
ahead.
you're good. Go ahead.
I remember when he came here. He came from Escambia County, Florida, Pensacola,
Okay.
Navarre Beach, something like that. And he brought over Marilyn Manson and all this stuff that we weren't listening to yet here. You know, we had Z106 Classic Rock.
Right.
Right.
And this was before they had started playing Manson like on the airwaves here. Really, well, you know, I think when he did that Sweet Dreams cover, he started getting some airplay here.
Yes.
But this was before that, and I remember just being blown away by the music they had introduced me to. Like, whoa,
Yeah, it was some heavy stuff.
yeah,
They
were demonizing Manson here.
Man, it was like it was real cool, and I wasn't into that kind of thing, honestly. But
Yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea.
it wasn't me. But
I could still
but
appreciate the artistry behind
Yeah.
it and the musicianship, and theirs really took it to a level that I appreciated it even more.
Yeah.
I was like, "Whoa, this is good."
yeah, when you were saying Marshall Bridges, I'm like, wow, why does that sound familiar?
Yeah,
But yeah, when you said
That's so
Lance
cool
and
that
said
you recorded
Seb,
them. That's-
yeah, I recorded a lot of their. I don't know if they ever recorded anywhere else, you know, but
I think it's cool. I even remember that.
yeah, yeah. They recorded with me I don't know, probably 2 albums worth,
That's cool.
or close to it anyway.
And they had went out and played. Like I remember them playing shows in New York for the Ball Drop or something, like New Year's Eve type shit.
Nice.
Yeah, Perry, you know, the guitar player.
Is that Perry Cooper? you're
Yeah,
talking
Perry
about?
Cooper.
Okay, see, wow, I
Yeah.
didn't even realize.
Yeah, that was him. You know, he tripped me out when they came in, and he played guitar, and he's left-handed,
Okay.
which okay, well that's not a big deal. But the thing is, he would take a right-handed guitar and just flip it over and play it. He didn't change the strings around. He
What?
just took a right-handed guitar and played it.
Come on,
No, that's how he
that's
played.
dope, dude.
I've
That's
known
how
one
he
other-
learned.
I've known one person that
Yeah.
did that too.
I had a buddy that learned like that. Now he was never just became a great guitar player, but he could play several things like that. He learned how to do what was it? 3 Doors Down, Be Like That, and what's the other one? I can't remember. He I just remember him learning several songs, kind of finger picking through and having to play it upside down on a right-handed guitar. And I was just, I don't know how you do that, dude. I can't do it.
Yeah, it just boggled my mind watching
Yeah.
him, because it just didn't make it just didn't make sense to watch. I don't know how to explain it. You're
No.
watching as a guitar player, when you hear notes being played about where they're played, but yet his hands are in totally different positions.
Yeah.
It's like, this makes no sense. I don't know. I just can't fathom how you do that.
Yeah. It was cool, man. Great stuff. And I'm so excited to know you were a part of that. That's
Yeah,
super cool.
yeah. That was
That was really one of the coolest things. Like as far as that kind of metal, I would, like you said, I wasn't into it, but man, I was into them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I ended up really liking them. Of course, even if there was stuff which, like I say, I wasn't into that style of music. But after you record it and then you're trying to mix it, I mean, you hear it so many times.
Yeah.
You start growing fond of it. And
Yeah.
you're like, this is actually pretty damn cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the stops and breaks.
Yeah,
and
you know
just-
it all. I probably know it as good as they do. Except
Yeah.
I couldn't play it, but
Right.
But yeah, it's real cool.
There was stuff on there, man, like Gravity Blast and stuff like that. That was just like way outside of my realm of playing. Still is.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I still had some of the stuff.
I
that
wish
I'd
you did
recorded
too.
back
I'd
in the
make
day.
you bounce me down a copy right now.
Yeah, Perry's probably got copies of that stuff. I assume.
I'm gonna definitely have to reach out to him and see
Yeah.
if I can
I haven't talked to him in a long
cop
time.
a copy.
Yeah, I need to ask him if he does have a copy of any of
Yeah.
that stuff. It seems like
Text him right now, Kevin.
You are.
No, I said text him right now.
Oh,
I want that while I'm riding home. I want to listen to that.
yeah. He,
But yeah, that's so cool. I didn't even know Perry Cooper was a part of that.
yeah, he was an integral part of that.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, it was him and Jeff.
It wasn't until later that I found out Lance Clark was, you know.
Yeah, and that's how I met Lance was, through that band. And then, of course, my band Crow, for a couple of years, had Bethany, his wife, as our singer.
Yeah, yeah.
So
she's awesome.
Yeah, I love
singer.
Bethany. Love Bethany.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know what?
I met her husband one time.
Lance?
Yeah.
Lance played with us a couple of times in Candy Bone. He filled in, and dude,
Lance is a sumbitch on
great
drums,
shows.
man.
Yeah, he's a left-handed drummer.
Has he played with anybody right now?
I think he plays.
He plays with Silverstone.
Oh, he does play. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've seen them. That's where I met him. That's when I met him. Okay.
And is that
I've seen them one time
with Derek Blush and who else?
I don't know who the bass player is. I don't know who they've got playing bass now. It seems like they mainly do, and I'm not trying to speak for them, but just from what I've seen, it looks like it's mainly her and Derek doing the acoustic thing most of the time. I don't think the band plays that often. Yeah, I love that.
I used to love Derek's old band, Absence of Concern. I mean, I say used to. I still love them. I still listen to them all the time. But, back then, that's who,
I remember them
coming up, that's who I looked up to. They were the guys doing it big. And then it turned into Creep Left. And then I wound up joining that lineup and becoming Slackjawed. So I don't know if y'all ever heard any of the Slackjawed stuff, but it's pretty dope.
I remember the name Absence of Concern.
Me too.
And I didn't know that was Derek's band, but I never really knew Derek. So.
I didn't either.
Derek's cool. Derek's cool. A damn good guitar player.
Yeah,
too.
he is good.
Got some cool ass guitars. I want some of them.
Yeah.
He said he'd give me some if I wrote him a hit song. You did say that.
Hell, you write me a hit song, I might give you. I don't know if you've looked at my collection.
I'll see what you got. I seen that you have a lot. I know that.
Yeah,
I haven't
there's a lot
I
of them.
haven't put a good eye on them yet, but
Yeah, I'm actually fixing to put some up for sale.
Cool.
Take that money and put it somewhere else.
That's what I've been thinking about doing with mine. I've been thinking about liquidating a lot of stuff and just reinvesting it into like maybe some video gear now that I see that, I see what I could just do with my cell phone in less than 48 hours. I'm just like,
if you can do that with a cell phone, imagine. I mean, I my background is actually in photography.
Yeah.
I mean, I did 25 years, working in the photography industry, and I think I helped Scott get started.
Yes,
and,
absolutely. And the state of Mississippi. You used to sell cameras to my dad when he was at Capitol Police.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, sure did. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I sold to a lot of industries, not just the state, but
the cameras, the little cameras that I got from you got me noticed and got my first job.
Right.
Which led to on and we went from there.
Well, those cameras that you started out with, I mean, were not known to be, those were not, pro cameras by any means, but you were getting really cool shots of that stuff. And it was kind of separating yourself from a lot of people.
You want to tell my secrets?
Well, I know the secrets.
My earliest stuff, my favorite stuff, what I would like to get back to shooting with the equipment I have now, but that kind of style really was, it was a little Olympus TG3.
Mm-hmm.
Which then I moved up to the TG4.
Yeah.
I got them because they were waterproof cameras.
Yep.
And I was
rugged as hell.
Rugged as hell. The TG stands for tough. I was doing some canoeing and I didn't want, if it got wet, I didn't want it to ruin my camera. If I dropped it, I didn't want it to run it. And then when I started doing bands, I realized that, I ended up getting a Canon SX40, which is all right. It was fun to play with, but the little Olympus, if I'm out there in the crowd, I didn't worry about people banging. I had it knocked out of my hand several times.
Yeah. Totally.
My daughter gave me a
pick it up and go right back to work.
Right. My daughter gave me a Nikon D7100, and one of the first things happened is during the gig, the battery door got ripped off, and one thing led to another. It's still to this day, it's gaff taped together. Mm-hmm. Gaff tape is my friend.
That'll have you on tilt right there, man.
Yeah. I moved on to a Sony now, but my GG TG3 and 4, man. I like that.
Yeah.
I really got to shoot guns. Now I got to shoot so professional. Do you know any of the guys from Pop Fiction?
Daniel says he's up in Nashville now.
Right.
And I know Josh Arnold and Joey and Sam. Sam's played with us before.
Sam Green.
You're supposed to be getting them on here.
Yes, I am.
One of our best shows is Candy Bone. Sam Green was playing the drums. I had Blade on lead guitar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. We had a fun set that night. We played it's fun for me to get to do covers.
Seems
when
like
I
he used
do
to
all
wear a
original
Candy Bone
stuff.
shirt sometimes on gigs.
He might have. I'll tell you who wears one a lot. Sam. You talking about
Yeah,
Sam?
Sam Green, yeah.
So Sam does.
He's my road dog right there.
And
now.
Erica Shea will wear that one. And some old school shirts I'm surprised they even still have, man. But they, those dudes wear them religiously. Tristan Adcox will wear a dang Candy Bone shirt out, dude. I love it. But, yeah. Dang, I lost my train of thought there. Where was that?
Well, we're all. I was talking about if you need the Pop Fiction guys.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, that show with Sam and Blade, we played Just When I Needed by the Cars.
Really?
I love that. And Blade just, he could play that and I was just get tickled, dude. Like, oh my God,
The Cars, they had a good guitar player. That was some interesting music. You just don't pick it up and play it.
That first record they had so many hits on it.
Oh, yeah, the whole
just
album.
Debut record of hits, man.
I like the first two albums.
Mm-hmm.
The first album and the second one was the first album, The Cars, and then the second album was called Cameo.
Okay.
Candio.
Candio.
Yeah, Candio. I need you.
I love that so much. We did Audio Slave as well.
Okay.
Tell Me How to Live. And that was fun.
It's a good
So
song.
fun, dude. Sam was killing it on the drums.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to get to do that kind of stuff,
I used to love. I was somewhat of a tech for Sam for a while there. He had a lot to set up, so I'd always set up, tear down, blah, blah, blah. But I used to love to stand behind him. And one of my favorite songs for him to play was, oddly enough, a Taylor Swift song, Are You Ready for It? Because, they always took a pop music and did their own twist to it. But Sam's coming out of love with hi-hat work on it because the first round, the verse, he's hitting it. But the second round, he's really double timing on it, And just the way he does his fills on that, I just used to love to stand behind him and watch.
Sam, he's on point drummer on a lot of stuff, man. I used to love to watch him air drum to like Seven Dust or Dark New Day or something.
Yeah, we're both big Seven Dust fans.
And he'd be nailing that lick for lick, dude. I was like, damn, Sam, that's awesome.
It's a pretty big workhorse because back there during the show, he's pretty busy.
Oh yeah, and he nails the fuck out of those drums, dude. He is banging the shit out
He's
of them.
doing way more than just drums back there, There's keys talking back and forth. He's got clicks in his ears.
Oh yeah. I'm sure
it's
he's
pop.
running some backing tracks and stuff on some stuff.
Yeah, because it's pop music. You got to,
I think it takes talent to play with backing tracks a lot of times. You got to be tight. You got to be on that click, dude. If you're not, it's gonna tell on you.
Honestly, to tell you the truth, in the years I've seen them play with tracks, they never started that off and messed up, had to restart stuff.
Yeah.
They also, the only time, they never practiced. They practiced whenever they had to maybe get another singer.
Mm-hmm.
If they were going, when Daniel left, they were auditioning singers, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if they come up with a new song, they didn't practice. They just did it at the show. And it's not that they actually necessarily did it during sound check. I've seen them do songs for the first time at the show.
Jesse still sing for them?
Yeah. Jessica? Yeah.
I did a movie with her down on the coast. It was called Joe Baby. She played what's his name? Ken he's in that show 911 on NBC, but anyway, he was in Wolf of Wall Street and stuff.
Okay.
I can't think of his last name right now. It was on the tip of my tongue. It evades me, but he was like her girlfriend in the scene or something. I mean, she was his girlfriend in the scene.
Oh yeah, she told me about that.
But I was running sound on that, and he was super cool, man. And it was cool to see her working like that. Like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's fun. I've been on a few shows with them. I left the band before she joined, but I've done some shows with them since then. And they had some good people. I worked for pretty much a lot of different singers they've had.
Love Joey. Joey's been cool.
Yeah, he has. He was actually the only guy I knew out of the band at the time when I first saw him.
Did y'all know Joey invented the blondie?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Cool.
And that's how I met him. I actually met him at Cups.
Okay.
In North Park.
Yeah.
And he said, "Here, try Blondie."
Try Blondie.
I'm not joking. He did.
I believe you.
Excuse me.
But yeah, that turned out to be their most popular thing, I think.
It's funny because there used to be like the Best of Jackson, right? You remember those Best of Jackson things? And they had like a meme, and he was actually, they were voting him the best barista in town. When he still worked for Cups at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he quit work for Cups, and years later, that's been a while now. But every year that picture comes up in my feed, and I keep posting it every year, especially like in our group chat or whatever he got going on, that he's still running for the best barista in town. You know, he don't even do it anymore, you know?
Still the best.
He's still the best. He invented the blondie. I mean,
you got to give it to the guy. He invented the blondie, eh?
Honestly, that's my favorite drink from Starbucks. I don't think I would drink anything else.
That was the white girl drink before pumpkin spice latte.
What are you trying to?
I can't even say pumpkin spice latte.
I just said that was my favorite drink, and that's a favorite white girl drink. I don't know. Where are we going with this? You are kind of funny.
I just know.
Well.
Many a blondie run back in the day.
I was with Pop Fiction on Halloween at Pop's, and I did go as a bearded woman one time, and I did wear a dress at Pop's with this beard.
Dude.
Yeah.
With your junk? How did you fucking hide it?
I didn't. And they found it. People found it that night.
Oh,
I had no idea.
Fucking look hard.
Let me tell you something. I have a brand new respect for women in dresses now.
That boy's hung like a dartboard, y'all.
That is TMI. So not anything I need to think about.
They would come up behind me and rub my butt, and I'd turn around with my beard and
knock them down.
Some would jump back, and some just stayed there. I enjoyed all of it.
Hell yeah.
No, I didn't. That was bad. I did. I didn't. I did. Did I?
Dude, I wanted to go when the Electric Cowboy had it. I wanted to be a lit up cowboy and like have just lights all over my suit. And I never could pull it off though. I didn't know how to put that kind of stuff together. But I was like, if I could, I would win the fucking contest tonight.
Yeah. I don't know enough about electricity. I'd plug into the wall and kill myself.
I don't know enough about electricity to pull this off, but in theory, it's an excellent idea.
That's how all good things are made, though, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I remember Flight of Icarus.
Got a little too close.
What's your next project you got going on? You got something really cooking, like you're really fixing to start, or something new?
Well, I just did I got all kind of stuff going on. I got a TV show pilot that's supposed to be being pitched to networks that I shot with a guy named Curtis Nichols. Somehow, I landed the lead villain role.
No, not you.
Dude, I'm telling you.
With a name like Pistol Black, how you going to do that?
I would have never thought it.
In the movies, I go by my real name. So my real name is Daniel Chase Waters. So I go by that.
And that's not an action. That's a name.
That's
like Daniel's
it's an action and a name.
Daniel.
It's like somebody was trying to tell me something. It's like Daniel Chase Waters.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been trying to go to the coast ever since. And either one, it don't matter. But anyway, yeah. I lost my train of thought again.
Well, the pilot for the show.
Yeah, the pilot for the show.
That happens a lot. That happens a lot on this show.
Yeah,
Hey,
I gotta quit smoking before I do these.
That's what the host is for when he's not on muscle relaxers.
But yeah, so we shot this pilot with Curtis Nichols called the Warrant Unit. It's about a unit of police officers that serve high risk warrants, and one of them, I think they were trying to serve a warrant to a lady across the road. And I'm just spazzed out. Like I lead a militia, an anti-government militia. I think it was initially supposed to be kind of more of a racial thing, but we spun it because I'm a little ethnically ambiguous.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, and that's hard to get cast now in this woke culture as an ethnically ambiguous guy because they're like, he doesn't look Mexican enough, or he
Right.
doesn't look white enough, or he doesn't look this enough or that. You know, that it's been hard, but I was surprised I got that role, but I did, and I fucking Tom Cruised it, dude. I did all my own stunts.
Nice.
I got to shoot, AR-15s and AK-47s.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There was a prison break scene where they break me out of a prison transport bus, and then we haul off in ATVs. I nearly died like 3 times doing that.
Cool.
They were like, "This guy's
Awesome.
a professional. Don't worry, he's a professional." I was like, "Dude, I seen y'all put the casting call out yesterday. This is just a redneck with an ATV who showed up."
Yeah.
And it got pretty sticky there a couple times, but we pulled it off, man. And that was a fun experience nonetheless. I think Tay Diggs wound up being in it, and Ingenue Ellis Taylor, which are 2 bigger SAG actors.
Right.
I believe I'm supposed to be SAG-E now because of it, which is SAG
SAG-E?
eligible. SAG eligible.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, okay.
SAG is Screen Actors Guild. Like, that's the big, not SAC, but SAG is Screen Actors Guild. Like, that's the big Hollywood union.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, for those of us not in the business, we have no idea.
Well, I used to watch a show on TV. It's called the Screen Actors Guild, and they had that guy that come out and he would interview an actor and in front of an audience, and there's like these people that are actually going to school or whatever to be actors, and they get to question a famous actor at the end of their year or whatever, put it on film. It was pretty cool. But it was a Screen Actors Guild thing. That's what I was thinking. We were talking about earlier, maybe if there was any like community stage theater work around town that you knew of, or where you could bounce your comedy off. But we decided that it's probably just going to be probably in the bar between bands, because there's not really anything like that going, is it?
Yeah. Other than Rita Brent's workout room, I'm not sure of anything else going on. There was a Chuckles at some point over off of was it County Line? And I got to see a couple of good comedians there, but I don't think they're doing anything anymore.
Chuckle scares me.
I seen.
I think that was a clown that used to go around exposing himself in my neighborhood growing up. I'm sure
that
it was.
would scare me too. I seen John Heffern there though. John Lovitz.
No, John Lovitz.
John Lovitz was awesome, and
I heard he was. Joey actually was his bartender.
Okay,
because he did a thing at where Joe was working one night or whatever. And he said that was so cool.
Dude, John Lovitz is a cool person. He's excellent. He was really good at you got to know the polarity of the crowd when you're doing, the kind of humor he does. And, you're in the South, especially at that time, that woke stuff was real hard,
Yeah.
This was like, right, it was around COVID.
It was.
And everything. Everybody was still social distancing. He was weird about, he wanted to take pictures with people, but, you just kind of got to stand a little foot apart kind of thing or whatever, But anyway, he still put on a excellent show. He was able to gauge the polarity and swung it the right way. And then after that, he wound up playing piano.
Nice.
And he is a virtuoso and an incredible singer. And so he was sitting there, just noodling around on the piano. I mean, killing it, just playing something sounded fantastical. And he's like, any request? And my friend Portia goes, Freebird.
Yeah, of course.
And he said, Freebird. And then he started playing Freebird. And then he started singing it. And dude, it sounded amazing, bro. John Lovitz killing Freebird.
Wow.
He's losing his mind, and I'm reaping all the benefits. Yeah, man, that guy, the critic, dude, coming out killing it on the piano, dude. And I'm sure he could do anything on that,
I had a misconception that he might not be easy to get along with, or something, but that's obviously not the truth. And from what I've been told, too.
He seemed cool that night, but he was working too, But I mean, I have heard stories about him punching Andy Dick in the face, but for good reason.
Who wasn't?
Yeah, Andy's a dick.
Andy's damn it, you beat me to it. That was a setup too.
Oh yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun.
But it was all over that Phil Hartman shit and some other stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he went up and smacked him in the face, and I've always thought, like, hell yeah, John Lovitz. How I even got into acting was bumping into some Hollywood guys here in Mississippi. Wound up through a friend meeting Jason London, who was Randall Pink Floyd on Dazed and Confused. And apparently he was like a huge 90s icon. I didn't even realize. I knew he was in some good movies because I watched like Rage Carry 2, Dazed and Confused. What's that one I used to love? Out Cold.
Okay.
Fucking loved Out Cold.
Yeah.
And he was in Skate and shit. So wound up befriending this guy, hanging out. He and I started writing music together initially, and then I met his brother, and that's when I kind of got into, you know, his brother did acting lessons. So when I go hang out with Jason, I go over there and take an acting lesson or two at Jeremy's house, and I was, you know, just had a knack for it. I was a performer. I've always performed since I was a kid, you know, in plays and all that at school.
Mm-hmm.
Did drama in church, that kind of stuff. So I just had a knack for it, and that's something I've always aspired to do anyway.
Okay.
So that's why I even went to the class, because it intrigued me. I wanted to see.
Are you a full-time entertainer, or do you work a day job too? Or
No, that's what I do, man. Music producing, songwriting,
Okay, cool.
just anything that I can do creatively.
Yeah,
if I got to
cool.
paint a picture and sell it, that's what I'll do before I try to make somebody else rich again. Yeah, I did hardwood floors, sand, stain, finished, and repaired for
Mhm.
about 10 to 12 years, and you know, wrecked my knees.
Oh yeah.
And I think I had to go pick up checks for my boss one day.
And saw the checks.
Saw the checks, and that did it for me.
It's eye-opening, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I picked up 3 checks that day, and I wasn't going to be making that whole year.
Yeah. Well,
So-
you know, there's a saying that if somebody else signs your paycheck, you're not getting paid enough.
Mm.
And I love the guy. I learned
Sure.
a lot from him. You know, I kind of took that over into the band aspect and how I ran things with the band. And, you know, some things I did well, and some things looking back in retrospect, I could have done better. But, you know, I just try to move forward and do the best I can, you know, from that.
Right.
You live and learn. And, but even still today, I still apply some of the principles I learned from it as far as running a business and running
Absolutely.
things and doing stuff.
Absolutely.
But as far as, you know, when it comes to paying your people, I try to give everybody the same chunk I get, man. If it's like for performance and stuff like that, you know.
Mm.
And I think most bands work that way.
Oh yeah.
It's not the same in the corporate world, but you know.
Well, yeah. When I was at Pop Fiction, it, you know, we may have, you know, griped about, you know, maybe wanting to get to a different level or what have you or anything. But as far as Joey running the band like that, he was fair. You know, he'd take a hit more than,
Yeah, that's what I'll do, dude.
I'll take a hit in order for you to get yours.
Yeah, if we got to play a show, if I got to pay you out of my pocket, I'm going to do that before you go home empty-handed. And I'm the one booking the shows and doing all that extra shit, you know, like, but I'm not taking none of that off the top. That's just not it's not how I operate right now, you know. And
Well-
I don't think that I ever will.
Right. Well, you know, case in point with Joey, I mean, they wanted T-shirts and stuff like that, wanted to try to do something like that, never could, didn't have the funds, didn't have this, didn't have that. How are they going to do that from the stage? How are they going to push that? And I just like took that on as part of one of my responsibilities other than photography. And I had a little bit of, you know, capital at the time. So, you know, we got us a merch table going, and it's like, you know, that's 100% you know, it's our
Dude.
name on there, but that's 100% you putting the money in there. You're doing this for us. You're doing this, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
super cool, man.
You know, and we didn't push it so much. And I had other jobs to do within the band. You know, you can always be at the table. It broke itself even a little bit, and you know, and got their name on some shirts and stuff and
Awesome.
some merch. I had some cool buttons made.
Yeah.
Josh has turned out pretty good. Daniel's turned out pretty good. But yeah. He's always been fair with me on all that. Joey has. As a matter of fact, everybody I've worked with, luckily I've had nothing but good things, you know, to say about everybody. I ain't had the time to work with everybody I wanted to work with.
Well, I look forward to working with you soon.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, I guarantee we could come up with something.
Oh, ain't no doubt. Like to take it back to film one more time, like I was saying. So you were talking about stuff I had coming out, and I got that. That pilot should, whatever it's going to do. If a network picks it up, that'll turn into a series, and I'll probably get asked back. Hopefully,
Exactly.
And anyway.
Do you do any like grant writing or anything to do with PBS maybe, or you trying that avenues?
No, I didn't even know that was a thing. Really.
I had a friend of mine one time. He did a couple of independent films. There's an artist around town named Chuck Jett, and he had an independent film. It's on YouTube now, and the film he did was called Pinky Swear.
Okay,
and it was really neat. But for PBS, he was going to do a series of short stories of different stories around Mississippi history and stuff, like
That's
Robert
cool.
Johnson hauntings or whatever. And, a more updated look back at things like that. And he did a pilot on like the Robert Johnson thing or what have you. I played some slide in the background for it. And,
cool.
Yeah, it was neat. And he basically learned how to write grants. There's grants he could write to help do that. And there's money out there available for that. At least at the time it was. Unfortunately,
find that.
Unfortunately, it didn't get picked up, but he learned a lot. It was a really good little filming he did. I was happy that I would play some slide in there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I am writing some stuff though. I got 2 features I'm writing. Let's see. I've got one pilot written called Pray Feed Rule.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever want to read that, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Send me a little PDF or whatever. But it's just a pilot, 45 pages. But everybody that I've let read it, even Jeremy London,
cool.
Everybody's liked it.
It's pretty neat. Like even like my day job during the week, there's several of the guys. One guy that works with me every day, and another guy that subs with us. That's what they do in the meantime is shoot movies and documentaries and stuff. One of them was just gone for a week or so in New Orleans shooting, and they're all the time talking about shooting movies and writing pilots and everything.
Yeah.
I would love to look over something like that.
Yeah,
with you for sure.
Yeah, I got a couple of cats I do that with, Britton Webb and Blair Kelly. Blair's my roommate now. He's got a little TV show he's wrote for me and him to star in, and then Britton's got something he wants to do. I won't talk about, but it's a great idea, and we're all gonna just try to help each other out there.
Exactly.
Get our little projects off the ground, because that's what it takes, man. Right now. And I remember watching a video. Jason Alexander from Seinfeld was talking about, making it in today's industry. And if it's like, dude, if you want to make it, make your own shit.
Yeah.
You want to be a star, do it and put it out there. That's what it's going to take, You can't sit around thinking somebody else is going to make it for you or put you on like that. It ain't there no more.
No.
So you gotta do it yourself. And if you do it, it just might be something to it, and it may pop off, and great things could happen.
Maybe with TikTok and everything else these days, maybe it's a little easier to get recognized. I don't know.
Another thing, you talk about TikTok, I said the whole vertical format
I hate it.
of viewing. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, I don't like
I
it.
love cinema, so of course I love cinematic.
Yeah.
But vertical is taking off in film and like now there's like vertical TV series and movies and stuff that's going to start being a thing, and short form episodes. And
it's like the Blair Witch. After 5 minutes, I was done. It's like, no, I don't like this.
I remember when that movie came out.
Yeah.
Interesting concept. But
I went and it scared the shit out of me as a kid. I ain't going to lie. But it was a particular time of year.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been years since I was a kid.
So we had just stopped.
They made it believable.
They did. They made it very believable. And it was that time of year when you quit running the air conditioner, and we had like window units in the house.
Yeah.
So that night, no air conditioner, I can hear everything going on in the woods. And now that's all I can hear, like trees snapping and just stuff like that. And I'm just freaking out. I couldn't go to sleep that night after I watched Blair Witch Project.
Wow.
I can imagine.
It was nuts.
Yeah, Pistol, we were talking about the upcoming events and stuff, and I think we have some Red Light Vendetta you were talking about. It's been really nice having you on the show tonight. I enjoyed talking to you. I know we
I've enjoyed it. Yeah.
run. It's really nice sitting there talking to you for a couple hours without. And I don't mind seeing you out in the bars and the bands going, but really can't get into the meat of things. We'd like to talk to.
Right.
I've been really wanting to work with you over the years. I told you I wanted to at least take some pictures for you. Anything I can do. So it's been great having you here at Eastwood Recording.
Yeah. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you, Kevin, for making this happen. We'd like to thank the folks for tuning in and watching. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, subscribe. That always helps. Share.
Yeah. It really does help.
Tell your friends. If you got any questions or there's something you want to know about the show tonight, we will get back and answer it. If we need to get back with Pistol on some of this. Pistol, is there any social media, anything you want to put out there that you can find you out?
You can follow me on Facebook, Pistol Black, or follow my band Candy Bone. So Candy Bone being my rock band, Pistol Black being my solo country stuff. But I'll kind of mix around with that. I'll jump everywhere. But follow me on Facebook, and I'm on Instagram at Who Is Pistol Black and at Candy Bone Singer. TikTok official Pistol Black and at Candy Bone Band. So yeah, follow all those if you will. And thank y'all for having me, man. It's been fun.
Hell yeah.
You're more than welcome. It's been our pleasure for sure. Well, with that, folks, we will bid you good night. Do we want to say good night all in unison? You want to sing good night?
I think that's been ruled out, hasn't it?
Well, maybe so. We used to sing in the way out, but
Yeah.
they said Scott sounds horrible, so
I don't think that's what it, I don't think that's what it was.
You don't think that's what it was?
I don't think that's what it was.
Okay.
I don't remember even hearing you sing.
Okay, well.
But yeah, I mean,
I can sing something. I can sing
everybody
Baby
singing
Snakes.
in harmony was kind of tough.
Snakes. Yeah. Yeah, well, Kevin, thanks for having a face for radio. And
that's why I'm here.
Exactly right. And you can also look out because I tell you, Pistol is kind of funny, and he does some comedy, and he does some band work with people and stage work. We don't know where we're going to find him next. We're going to collaborate, and he will shoot a video every once in a while for you. So there's always that.
We will be seeing Pistol Black again.
Oh yeah. Check out the new single "Find You" by Candy Bone.
There you
Got
go.
a video up on YouTube. Y'all go spin that.
Hell yeah.
Thank y'all.
And thank you, people. Come back and see us.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I wanted to say
Good night.